You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we have another show lineup for y'all. Today we're going to talk to our special guest. She is the author of this book, Iris, Magical Yoga Adventure. And she's all about doing amazing things. First and foremost, I just want to welcome you to the show, Sarah, and say how you doing, first of all.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful to be here.
And a little background of you. Tell the audience a little bit about what you do. I did say, but you are a yoga instructor and you are a personal trainer. What was the path for you that inspired you to get involved in today's industry that you're in?
So, like you said, I am an art teacher, artist who evolved into a yoga fitness instructor. And I got my yoga certification in Bali, Indonesia. And I love writing. I've loved writing growing up. Just recently rediscovered my passion for it. But this book is just a bridge from my last chapter to my new chapter. This is a self-published book through Amazon. I had help from a friend through that process that can be very complicated if you're unfamiliar with formatting. And I always enjoyed writing as a kid. I have great memories of writing stories with my brother. And earlier in my career working with kids, I was voted most likely to publish a children's book, and I always held that certificate. So something that I've had on my bucket list of things to do.
Now, when you wrote this book, what's the core message that you're hoping the reader will be able to learn from?
I want to inspire kids to get creative, not only with their learning, but to dream big. The book features activities for them to create their own character. So maybe it inspires them to write their own story or get creative in the way they learn. So the story teaches about different landmarks around the world through movement, and maybe kids start to create their own movements for things that they're learning in school.
And so the book, Iris Magical Yoga Adventure, is centered around Iris and her mom, and they're on an adventure together, and they are using their imaginations, right? So without giving too much away from the book, because we want people to go buy it, what was some of the favorite parts of the book?
One of the big pieces of the book is that it teaches kids movement that can help ease anxiety and also to connect with others. So studies have shown that working towards moving in sync with others builds self-esteem. So not only is it encouraging movement, but building self-esteem and helping kids get out of their head and just finding balance. I think knowing what you would like to do, having goals that you are working towards, even if there's small steps, it gives you something to turn back towards. So even if you're having trouble in one area, putting some extra attention towards creating an art piece or writing a story or a book can help just keep you on track and making choices that feel good for you when you're moving towards something that you truly want. Also, finding people that support you. I know depending on the age, online, there's lots of Zoom groups where people come together with a common passion, and just talking to other people that are passionate about the same things can really help keep you inspired. One of the landmarks that they visit is the Colosseum in Italy. And Iris's mom is explaining to Iris that the Colosseum was where warriors would battle with animals. And so they get down in a tabletop position and they explore cat cow stretches, which is similar to a lion. And so the mom makes the connection that they're pretending to be a lion in this Colosseum. So incorporating the movement with the learning, playing on that kinesthetic learner and mind-body connection was my goal there. I think it's extremely important. We hear a lot about the visual learners and the auditory learners, but there's definitely a group that is the kinesthetic learner, the hands-on learners, and even as adults, wanting to be involved and doing it as a part of the learning process. I think when you are fully invested in what you're doing and using your body as well as just your ears or your eyes, then you're just getting so much more from the experience.
Talk a little bit about the whole process of the illustration in your book.
These are actually all my illustrations. It took a long time, over a year, and a lot of the illustrations were ones that I had done over and over again, but I kept pieces even though I wasn't loving them, and just put them away. And a lot of the illustrations ended up being a collection of recycled pieces that I had that I put together to create the art.
Have you ever illustrated for other authors out there?
I have not. This is my first one.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to continue. It's definitely a fun process. It takes a lot of trial and error for sure the first time around.
And you are an artist. We touched that, but you have an Instagram that shows off your art. What is your style when you're creating art? Do you use certain paint? Do you just use pencils? What's your style when you're trying to make your masterpiece?
I love drawing and painting. Those are my two favorite. A lot of acrylic paints. I dabble a little bit in 3D sculptures, like the paper mache, kind of like you think of when you're in school and you build shapes out of balloons and recycled materials and use the flour and water and glue to make a hard shell on it. I would say I draw a lot of people and animals. I just like capturing eyes and spirit.
And did you have someone that inspired you to perfect your art?
One of my most inspiring teachers was my high school art teacher. And I remember coming to him with these grand ideas of things that I wanted to create. And he would listen to them, but it wasn't until he saw me making them happen that he really pulled in and helped focus. So I think that taught me a lot of, putting my creative ideas down, how important that is.
Art is important in school, and you being an artist, why would you say art is a important subject for students to appreciate?
I think art is freedom, and you can express yourself, and a bear can be purple, or you can create a world of whatever you want. You can throw the paint, you can use your hands, you could use a random tool. It's endless of where you can go and what you can do or how you use it. And I think that's the fun in it.
Pushing yourself out there as an author and publishing yourself as author. What are some of the things you learned so far as just the process of self-publishing, the pros and cons of that, and just being an entrepreneur?
One of the best pieces of advice that I received during the process was to get out there and just start talking about it. So I was referred to Podmatch, and it's such a great platform to talk about things that people are passionate about, and just another outlet to showcase the book as well. Also, not being afraid to reach out. With the self-publishing, I personally am very new to social media, and with a children's book, just reaching out to schools and libraries and yoga studios and just saying, hey, would you be interested in a book reading or having a workshop? And just seeing the worst you can hear is no, or not hearing anything at all, but just putting yourself out there and reaching out to places that could really benefit from the experience.
You as an artist, is there anyone else in your family that is into art, or is it just kind of just you?
My mom is really into interior design, and my grandmother was really into fashion and sewing. So just differently, I would say.
How important is it for people to find their support group, whether it's art, yoga, whatever their path for their hobby or their professional career? Why is it so important to have a support group that kind of helps you grow throughout the process and can kind of be real with you if you need to do a little maintenance and kind of do a little self-check?
I think that it's important because those voices, even if you don't mean for them, they can stick in your head. And just being mindful of whose feedback you're allowing, people that are interested in going in the same direction as you will be in the right mindset to help you move forward as well. And I think we all need to be looking to help each other, and just an artist can look at an artistic piece and provide, an artistic eye to something.
I was looking at your Instagram, and your art is really nice. And
thank you so much.
And when people see an artist and their work, what's the best way the community can support that crowd of artists?
I would say just referring them to friends. I know growing up, I had a couple of coworkers that had me help with their kids' birthday parties, for some painting parties, or helping find opportunities within the community, offering an art class at a shelter or something like that, or, working with an organization that works with animals, and just finding spots where that artist's work can be utilized, and kind of help in a unique way.
What would you say to someone who's an artist and they're thinking about one day publishing their book? What words of wisdom would you give to them based on what you gain?
I would say stay with the process. Even there were plenty of times where I know I wanted to give up on it. Just putting it down and taking a break, but don't give up. A lot of times I thought about just finding someone else to do the illustrations, and I had friends that encouraged me to just stick to it, and just seeing it all the way through, no matter how long it takes or how many times you have to start over or put things down. See it, make sure you see it through. I teach children's art classes online, and just working and teaching kids is really inspiring to me. I find my passion, rediscover my passion when I'm teaching, and just have so much fun with the process along the way. So I would say teaching.
Once again, you can go get her book on Amazon. It's available right now. It's Iris Magical Yoga Adventure. And you can follow her on social media. How can people find you on Instagram?
Sarah, SARAH, care, _ SWFL.
Once again, I want to say thanks to Sarah for taking time in her schedule talking to I'm Refocused Radio about her book. Again, you can get the book on Amazon. It's Iris Magical Yoga Adventure. And I want to say thanks again, taking time talking to us today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very thankful.